chair now recognizes Mr. Palmer for, the chair now recognizes Mr. Allen for his 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for holding this important hearing. Multiple experts, Dr. Pana, have argued that the real challenge is not gene editing itself, but how we manage its dual use potential in a targeted, risk-proportionate way. In your view, what specific features should a modern risk-tiered oversight system include, especially for AI-enabled gene editing, so we close the gaps around defined high-risk work while avoiding unnecessary burdens on routine, low-risk research in universities and startups?
Thank you for the question. I agree with the sentiments you express in terms of needing targeted oversight that's tiered, where there's a focus on the highest consequence risks for oversight, and that enables lower risk research to proceed unencumbered. I think the best way to do that is to provide clear definitions and scoping for what constitutes the highest risk research so that researchers have that clarity and that they're able to proceed to, with doing other types of research easily.
This question is both for Dr. Pano and Dr. Diggins. Could you explain the difference between the varying types of AI models, such as general purpose large language models, or LLMs, that power generative AI platforms like ChatGPT, and biodesign tools such as AlphaFold or Evo1 and Evo2?
Thank you for the question. Overall, I think many of us here are familiar with using LLMs and the knowledge that they can provide when queried. Next, further advancements are reasoning models, which can do multiple steps of reasoning and address complex problems. AI agents can allow users to conduct tasks, and all of these models can also assist users in writing code. On the biological AI model side, those can allow us to understand biology, whether it's proteins or genetic sequences. And overall, what the research community is hoping to move towards is the integration of AI agents, LLMs, with biological AI models to enable fully autonomous science.
Good, thank you. Dr. Diggins?
Maybe I'll add to what my colleague Dr. Panu has said to say that the way we think about guardrails for these two classes of models is very different. So on the LLM side, you're looking for what kinds of knowledge you want to prevent the transfer. On the biodesign models, we don't have a good sense of what kinds of individual functions or questions people are asking these models that we want to control. And so I think that speaks broadly to a set of knowledge that we need to work on developing at the individual biological component level of what kinds of risk do we want to identify and control.
This is for Dr. Diggins and Mr. McKnight. How accessible are AI tools that could meaningfully lower barriers to engineering pathogens or designing harmful biological constructs?
I'm sorry, Congressman, the question was how accessible are these tools?
How accessible are the AI tools?
Quite accessible in terms of their public availability. Many of them can be technically complex to use, and so the skill set required to use them may be fairly sophisticated. However, there's a lot of effort underway to rightly bring that down, to broaden the audience for these tools among the scientific community.
Mr. McKnight?
Yes, maybe I'll combine the answer to that with a build on the previous one. I think if we as a country, the thing that we should be setting as almost the spec that we expect to be able to deliver and measuring is how fast can we go from detecting a biological threat, natural or human-caused, somewhere on the planet to a countermeasure. And that takes a set of steps where we are monitoring globally, persistently, pervasively, using these AI tools that we're talking about to interpret that data in real time and rapidly to enable design of countermeasure or intervention, whether that be policy or otherwise. Our real-time test was about 9 months during COVID. There's the 100-day mission, but I think our North Star with these modern tools should be something closer to, maybe it takes 20 years, but we should be thinking about doing that in minutes and hours, like we do with cybersecurity, not days, months, or years.
Well, it's been said that we weren't, we're not prepared for another COVID event. We were not prepared for the first COVID event. What can this do to help us prepare for the second COVID event?
Yeah, I think that's a fair thing that we all lived through. There was we dropped the ball. We couldn't develop a diagnostic test at the beginning of the pandemic, and it took us a long time to respond. If you do prepare via both our public health and national security institutions detection capabilities that can rapidly inform what types of tests to make, what types of interventions to create, that infrastructure can collapse the amount of time. And that's something that doesn't exist today. No matter what, we need to invest to create that. It didn't exist at the beginning either.